The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good day to everyone joining us, and welcome to today's X Talks webinar. Today's talk is entitled Overcoming Temperature Challenges in the Clinical Supply Chain. My name is Margot, and I'll be your X Talks moderator for today. Today's webinar will run for approximately 60 minutes, with time for a question and answer session with our speakers. This webinar is designed to be interactive, and webinars work best when you're involved. So please feel free to submit questions and comments for our speakers throughout the presentation using the questions chat box, and we'll try to attend your questions during the Q&A session. This chat box is located in the control panel on the right-hand side of your screen. If you require any assistance, please contact me at any time by sending a message using this chat panel. At this time, all participants are in listen-only mode. Please note that this event will be recorded and made available for future download. At this point, I'd like to thank Alma, who helped develop the content for this presentation. The Alma Group is an established contract development and manufacturing organization that provides an extensive range of integrated services to the pharmaceutical and biotech sectors globally. These services range from R&D, discovery development, API manufacture, formulation development, clinical trial supply, IXRS technology, through to commercial scale manufacture. Almac employs over 5,000 highly skilled employees across 17 facilities, including the United Kingdom, Europe, North America, and Asia. Today's speakers work in the Clinical Trial Supply Division of the organization, also known as Almac Clinical Services. Almac Clinical Services employs over 2,400 employees across the globe, supporting clinical supply chain solutions throughout the marketplace. Now I'd like to introduce our speakers for today's event. Our first speaker is Bryan Thompson. Bryan Thompson has worked in a manufacturing capacity with Almac Clinical Services for the last 11 years. He is responsible for the development and management of over 200 staff across a 3-shift clinical packaging operation. Bryan has the additional responsibility of overseeing the generation of a complex production schedule, review of project-specific generated batch documentation, and quotation generation. At Almac, Bryan has gained extensive knowledge of the process, equipment, and materials utilized in clinical trials packaging, and is a subject matter expert on cold room packaging. Our second speaker for today is Anthony Mastretta. Anthony Mastretta has over 25 years experience in the pharmaceutical industry, including production, warehouse, training, and distribution. Anthony and his logistics team have provided customers with sound logistics solutions based upon their many years of experience in the clinical supply chain. He is passionate about providing excellent customer services throughout the entire supply chain process, from order receipt to drug shipment delivery, on time and within specification. He is well versed in working closely with customers, third-party organizations, and the appropriate departments within Almac to deliver comprehensive logistics solutions for the clinical supply chain. So without further ado, I'd like to hand the presentation over to our first speaker, Bryan Thompson. You may begin whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Margot, and welcome everyone on the line today to today's webinar. Depending on where you're located, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Bryan Thompson, Production Manager at Alma Clinical Services. For over 30 years, Alma Clinical Services has offered full end-to-end flexible clinical supply solutions throughout the life cycle of your clinical trial. The full supply chain management cycle offered by Alma Clinical Service includes study startup, blinding and packaging, labeling and randomization, product release, global distribution, study management, and drug accountability. Moving on to the agenda, key areas that we would like to discuss today